Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Jeff at Geek Driven, and we are here for another episode of Week in Geek. This week, we're going to have two guests today. One guest will be joining us in about 10 minutes. But today, to my left or right, is Sticks Boy. What's going on, Sticks Boy?
Good evening.
Hey,
Everything good?
Good. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to have to get you back on Cover Lovers again.
Yeah. Been a while.
But before we get started, let us give a shout out to our sponsors. So if you want to get 30 days of unlimited cover price for only 99 cents, you just got to type in the code Nirvana14. Great tool. We use it to keep track of our collections, keep track of the market, and listen to some news for the weekly top 10s. Also, if you want to get some 10% off your purchase over at Bird City Comics, get some of those store exclusives, those incentives, you just got to type in the code TNH10. Also, don't forget to visit our friend Sean over at DisplayGeek.com. Get yourself some toy action figures, Funko figures, protectors, video game protectors, and you build it yourself shelves. You can get 10% off your first purchase by typing the code TEAMNERDHERD. And then we're going to give a shout out to our moderator at Uncle Rudy, Senti Rudy 1. And then also to our resident DJ at Beats by Monster. Say hi to Eddie when you drop into his DMs. All right. And then, there's no one in the chat yet. So no worries. Do you want to get started on this?
Yeah, let's get going.
All right, cool. Let's see. Don't mind me. I only have one screen, so.
You're fine.
All right. So we got the Week in Geek, and of course, our special guest will be Hyper Combo. He'll be joining us a little bit later.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to start off with the Transformers 1 official trailer. This caught me off guard. I didn't know they were making an animated prequel. Okay. So that's cool. Some people don't like animation, but it is what it is. Did you get a chance to see the trailer, sir?
Yes, I did.
And what did you think?
Wasn't what I had expected. First off, I knew they were making the animated series. I thought it was going to be more to an adult-ish.
Right.
It was more to a kid standpoint as far as what I'm seeing, and I'm all right with that. I mean, that's what we grew up with. Transformers on TV, so I'm all right with it. I enjoyed the trailer,
okay.
Taking it for what it was. I enjoyed it. I liked what I saw. I'm interested to see what it fully entails, so I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah. What did you think about the animation, though?
Animation was fine. Animation was great.
The way they were drawn and everything looks.
Yeah. Like I said, every iteration of Transformers has been a little bit different in the animation style, and so I'm not too worried about that. That didn't bother me.
Yeah, I'm interested. I mean, I never thought I wanted a prequel story to the Autobots and Decepticons, but I mean, that's cool. I wasn't really into the huge lore of the comic books and stuff. It was mostly limited to the cartoons, the animated series. But I mean, it was cool to see Orion Pax, I think, and D-17.
Right.
And of course, Bumblebee, Mr. Badassatron.
Yeah. Perfect name for him.
Yes, and I think is that RC's older sister or like mother or something? I think that's who that female character is supposed to be.
It's either a sister or her in just a different name.
Right. And then the crazy thing, it's voiced by Chris Hemsworth and Tyree. I can't remember his whole name.
I was gonna say Tyree Kill, but it's not Tyree Kill.
I almost said Tyree Maxey, and it's definitely not Tyree Maxey. But it was. I think he was. The actor was in the Eternals.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's cool. I mean, I don't know how I feel yet about the voice though, because you're used to the original Optimus Prime and Megatron. So
Right.
we'll see how it is. I believe this is going to be released in September 20th of this year.
Yeah, it's early fall.
Okay, and then let's go on to casting. So if you're a Wednesday fan, season 2 is in development, and they've added Steve Buscemi and Tandy Newton. So have you watched Wednesday?
I have not. This is every time I go to watch it, it seems like something else comes up, and I'll watch something. This will kind of fall off my spot. It is something I want to watch. I grew up watching the original Addams Family, so
Okay.
but I'll end up watching it before this series.
Good. What's going on, Hyper? How you doing, man?
Hey,
Hyper.
How was dinner?
It was good. Sorry, man. Yeah.
No worries.
Had dinner, and I literally just set up my laptop and hopped on. So I honestly I know you sent me the slides. I had no time to actually look them over, if I'm being honest. So I'm going to be winging it tonight.
No worries, sir. No worries. Nothing really hard and difficult. So I had just mentioned that the season 2 of Wednesday is adding Steve Buscemi and Tandy Newton. Have you watched Wednesday, sir?
Okay. There's a lot of stuff on my Netflix backlog. I still have to finish the last season of Stranger Things, and I've been actually up to date up until the last season. There's a lot of to watch on my to watch list, and I've heard great things about this series, just because I guess it kind of flew under the radar, and I guess it kind of caught people by surprise. But yeah, adding Buscemi and Fanny can only bolster the series, I would imagine.
Yeah, even more legitimizes the series. So
exactly,
they're both great actors. I watched the first season. I enjoyed it. Gave me a little bit of the Addams Family vibes, but in a different twist, a more modern day twist. But I quite enjoyed it, and I'm actually excited that these two actors have been added. I didn't expect them to get any big names, and these are actually big names for a Netflix series.
Well, I mean, in a way, I'm not completely surprised, because we've seen how when a show is pretty successful, at least on the Netflix side, they tend to bring in some bigger name actors to kind of put it this way: if this show died a death, I don't think you would see Steve Buscemi and Fanny Newton for the second season.
That's very true. Very true. Okay, let's move on to our next article. So if you guys haven't heard, Sonic 3 is going to have Shadow in it, and it's going to be voiced by Keanu Reeves. So I know you guys heard the news. So what do you guys think?
I think Keanu did a great job voice acting in Toy Story 4 as Dirt Kaboom. I think that's the character's name, or the stunt car racer. So I think he'll probably be fine with this. I don't think he's done too much in the way of voice acting besides that. I'd have to look, I guess, but he's got that nice dark with John Wick. He's got that nice dark brooding voice that I think the Shadow kind of needs to have. So I'm all right with it, and then it's great. He's a great actor.
Yeah, I think more so. I think the name Keanu Reeves just has a lot of cachet to it, so I think that in itself will probably bring in people that, let's say, weren't even though he's just strictly it's going to be a voice acting, and you're not actually going to see his face. I think having Keanu Reeves on the billing would actually attract people to the movies that may have been on the fence. Now, the thing is, with characters like Shadow, I'm a Sonic fan, but I don't think there's a lot of frame of reference in terms of past Shadow voice acted characters. So
right,
I think he's going in fresh. So basically, it's kind of nice because it's open to his interpretation, I guess you could say.
Right.
I agree. And this Sonic franchise has been pretty successful, and this will probably be Jim Carrey's last role. They got him out of retirement just to come back as Robotnik. So I mean, what a great cast, voices and James Marsden on there. So I can't wait to see it.
And it's not completely animated, so
right.
True.
We might get to see him live action a little bit, so who knows?
Exactly, NJ. He'll be just fine. He can do no wrong at this point in his life. I mean,
No,
he's
hey,
pretty much uncancelable.
at this point, he's a made man, so he doesn't have to worry about making
That's
it
word.
in Hollywood at this point.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and this will release December 20th this year, so thank goodness we don't have to wait till next year.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next article. Heroes is in development for a sequel series by the original creator Tim Kring. Did any of you guys watch Heroes, and were you fans?
Oh yeah. I watched it from the original series. I have not seen Reborn for some reason. I never knew about it. I don't remember when it came out, so I don't know, who knows what I was doing at that point. But I don't see it even on streaming. I haven't seen it on Peacock, the Reborn series. But the original series, I enjoyed the first couple seasons. Even the last 2 seasons were good, but I mean, obviously it fell off a little bit
Or a
towards
lot?
the end. But I'm trying to be nice, Jeff. But
Yes.
if they do it, I'll watch it. I'm a fan.
I didn't actually finish the series. I did start it. The first season seemed very promising, but no, I didn't end up finishing. But question:
Okay.
which network actually was running?
NBC.
It was
NBC.
NBC. Okay, so
It was Peacock. Yeah.
Okay, so it was
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
They used to have it. I think they used to have it on the streaming, but they must have removed it.
Okay.
Well,
Gotcha.
the original series is now on Tubi, I think.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
So
there's
you can
that.
watch it for free.
I mean, I've got them on DVD anyways, but
Ditto. I actually have them on DVD or Blu-ray. I can't remember. I have the whole series. I don't even know if I might have Reborn, but I'm not sure. I did watch all of them. So yeah, definitely the first 2 seasons were probably the best. Yes, Heroes is totally underrated, Inja. I loved it. It was refreshing because it wasn't a comic book.
Mm-hmm.
It was original, but still within that hero, framework. So I really enjoyed it. Constantly had my anxiety. Yes, save the cheerleader, save the world. That was
Right.
just it. It actually had a good element of horror in it as well. That old school horror where you never see the monster, but the monster's always chasing.
Yeah.
So like I really enjoyed that part of it too. So I look forward to seeing a sequel series,
It's
especially if
funny,
it's by the original creator.
Jeff. It's funny you mentioned that. It's super coincidental because at work, literally while I'm walking with a coworker to my car, he made a comment like "Save a cheerleader, save the world." Like, and then it went over my head. I'm like, "Oh, so you never saw Heroes?" I'm like, "I finished it." He said
Well,
it literally
you saw
today.
season 1. That was the whole season 1.
Yeah. I mean, he then he explained the concept, like how that. Again, I watched it almost a decade ago, so it kind of, it was out of sight, out of mind for me.
Yeah.
And it's just funny because we just had the whole eclipse thing going on, and so of course it's
Yes,
good
I saw the
announcing.
memes for this. Yeah, it popped up quite a bit.
All right, let's move on to the next article. Well, this is for you, Hyper.
Mhm.
Walter Hamada, if you guys don't recognize that name, that was once in charge of Warner Brothers. He is developing a R-rated live-action TMNT Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles based on The Last Ronin. So, Hyper, what do you think? I mean, are you excited?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think in general there's been a bit of a renaissance in terms of the love for turtles, whether it be the new. Because I mean, actually, it's funny we're talking about this right now because literally the IDW series just wrapped up with its final issue today, and they're going to be rebooting it in July. And apparently, there's a new video game also with The Last Ronin coming out. So there seems to be a bit more, and Seth Rogen is doing his own thing in the animated side. So there seems to be a bit of a resurgence in terms of Turtles' popularity. So in terms of The Last Ronin, like that series, I think it already was hotly anticipated when it was announced, and then it basically met expectations. So I'm looking for, honestly, it is a bit surprising only because I didn't think we would get a movie this soon because the series only came out like during the pandemic, like 2020.
Right.
So they're making the movie like literally just a couple of years after the first volume wrapped up. I know a lot of people are kind of a bit taken aback that a TMNT movie is going to be an R-rated, but if you follow the history of Turtles, you would know that, like, especially the Mirage run,
It's still in the same vein as the originals.
right, and also the whole Last Ronin takes place in a very dystopian future, and it's not meant, like, if your only frame of reference was that 1980s TMNT cartoon or even the Jim Henson puppet TMNTs, it's not. I would basically kind of put that at the door when you're watching this. But even the Jim Henson movie, if you watch the first TMNT movie, it was a bit dark in some scenes, like the whole Splinter origin. You know how Shredder kills his master and all that, and they kind of messed up the origin because and then there was a lot of dark elements in that movie, even though it was more of an all ages. I think an R-rated rating would suit this movie. You can't make it PG-13 just because of the level of violence in the actual series that was shown. R-rated, I think when people see R-rated, they're thinking the full gamut, like sex, violence, nudity. I think it's more of a violence thing. I don't think there's going to be. I haven't really seen much cursing or sex in a TMNT movie. I think it's more on the violence side that the R-rated is going to be.
I praise Muppets.
No, actually, I collected the Muppet toys.
There was that one Raphael commercial that he did where he comes into the shower room there. You ever see that?
Wait, hold on. This was a commercial, or was it?
It was like a Swedish commercial or something with the guy in the Donatello outfit from the Michael Bay movie.
Okay.
And he comes out in like a shower and a sauna in the towel.
Well, now I gotta YouTube this after.
Yeah, watch that after. You'll thank me for it. Maybe not.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, honestly, I think now the only thing is this is one of those situations where it could be a flop or it can hit the mark. That's the thing. It's just because I don't know the level of care this is gonna have. I hope as a fan, I hope it gets the love and attention, because Turtle fans, they're pining for something that kind of brings them back to the 90s when because I kind of found that like even the Michael Bay stuff, it was good more as a popcorn, what do you call it, like as a popcorn flick, nothing more, nothing less. So I think people are wanting to get that feels that they got when they went to the theaters to see like TMNT, even Secret of the Ooze. Okay, it kind of went downhill with Turtles in Time, or what is the part 3, but you know what I mean. I think I'm hoping that we get that same feeling that we got when we were kids back in the 80s, watching these movies in theaters.
Yeah. Well, here's the one thing about Turtles, and like any other IP, like G.I. Joe, those kind of things are all secular, right? Every 20 or so years, you get another iteration. Or where Turtles has kind of always been pumping out since the 90s.
Yeah.
Between IDW or between Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
And that, so having them come kind of circle, because the kids that were watching that in the 90s now they're adults, they probably have their own kids, but at this point they're probably like, maybe we need a more adulted up a little bit more for me.
Yep.
By going a little rated R, like you said, probably not much, probably maybe a little heavier on the violence with the R.
Yeah.
Not so much sexual, I would assume, but it kind of fits in what we're looking at, because the kids from then, they're now like 30 or
40,
whatever.
Yeah,
or 40 now.
Yeah, because I mean, not 30 years ago, they would have been 10 years old as kids watching this stuff.
Right.
So now they're 40. They all have kids, and they're probably gonna, like you said, Sticks. They're gonna want something that's more adultish that matches their level of viewing. So,
and I think this series was what kind of brought it to that head for them. Like, this was more of adult than what the comic books had been, and what the cartoons had been. So I think that's kind of why this series did well as it did, even during the pandemic, through all the wait time that we had for those issues. People were still clamoring when they came out to get them.
Yeah, I think if they do this right, you'll have grown men crying in the theaters.
It
Seriously.
definitely, yeah, it definitely, okay, without spoiling anything about what
Yeah,
happened in the
yeah,
actual
yeah. Don't,
series,
please don't.
but I mean, I think you can kind of get the vein of it just by the synopsis. I'm gonna assume this is gonna have the same feels almost as the last Wolverine movie, Logan, where
Right.
where all the X-Men died, and he's basically the lone guy, kind of on his mission. I think it's going to be in the same vein because this is not a spoiler. The premise is essentially there's one soul turtle, and then his brothers and Splinter were all killed, and then basically he's out to seek revenge. That's basically the synopsis. So yeah, I feel it's gonna have that same feels like you mentioned, Jeff, like Logan did. Because listen, I'm not ashamed to say that at the end of Logan, I'm just glad that the theater was dark. I have to say that.
Oh yeah.
Yes, yes. I same here. Okay, well, we're all excited to get this. So
Yeah.
All right, and then it's been confirmed that Grant Gustin did speak with James Gunn about possibly joining DCU. What do you guys think of Grant Gustin as an actor, and do you think they'll find him a good role for DCU?
I mean, it's one of those situations where if you just had Ezra Miller, so it's almost like anything like he kind of it's like right place, right time situation for him.
Right.
So,
but I don't know if he'll be the Flash, because I don't know if he would want to be the Flash after he's been the Flash for like 8-9 years.
Oh, you mean because he'd be typecasted situation?
Right. So
okay.
I would assume he's going for a different role. He could be, I mean, possibly maybe the Reverse Flash, but I still think he wants to get away from just the Flash.
If he's the Reverse Flash, I think that's a bit too on the nose. It almost feels at that point DC's almost just being tongue in cheek about it. It's almost like, let's say if Michael Keaton came back to be the Joker. It's
too meta.
Yeah. So, no, I mean, it can only add value to the roster if he's on, because he was already ingrained in even though it was the CW side of things, he was already ingrained in the whole DC lore. So I would like to think that he has somewhat of an appreciation for the property. Just be, yeah. Oh, I mean, it'll be, what is it called? Method acting.
Please don't. I want people to watch these DCU movies if they're good.
Right.
But yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed Gustin as the Flash. I can't see why he wouldn't want to continue being typecasting and all, but there's at the end of the day, even typecast people get paychecks. So
it would be a bump for sure for him.
Yeah. And there was talk about him maybe coming in when that Ezra Miller debacle was going on with him and the girl and everything going on in Hawaii. I don't know, but I mean, so there was at some point, I think, some talk, at least in the community, about him maybe taking over the role, which never happened. They finished him out, but I don't know who else you would cast him as. But that's Gunn has been great at casting his characters, the B characters that he has picked in Suicide Squad and Guardian of the Galaxy. That those weren't typical actors and characters. So I have great faith in Mr. Gunn to whatever he chooses with Mr. Gustin to do a good job.
Ditto. Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't care either which way. Flash character, or Flash itself, or just someone different. It'd just be a win for DC fans who were fans of the Flash in the CW series. So,
I agree.
Yeah. It would give credibility to those series too, that he came from there, and now we're bumping you up to the big leagues.
Yeah, and sometimes they can make the jump and sometimes they can't. I think the guy has the chops. It's just, just depends on the role that he's given.
Agreed.
All right. How about, so I forgot to put the other casting on here, but Ma and Pa Kent have been casted, Jonathan and Martha. Their names are Pruitt Taylor Vince and Neville Howell. Neva is not as popular as Pruitt, but what do you guys think? More casting for the Superman movie?
I'm gonna be completely honest, and I'm not gonna pretend. I'm not gonna do the fake it till you make it situation in this one. I do not know this actor. What fill me in, Jeff? What is he?
I think he was in The Walking Dead at one point.
Was he really?
He's been in a lot of different.
Wait a minute. Was he
series.
the? Oh shoot. Okay. If I say it, I'm gonna spoil the scene in The Walking Dead.
Don't say it.
But okay, if he is who I think he is, but that doesn't mean like that means he wasn't really in the show that long, then, right?
No, a lot of people weren't in the show that long either.
No, I don't even think he lasted a season. If it's the same character, I'm thinking, okay.
Yeah. This guy didn't last that long in The Walking Dead, but he was in The Walking Dead. He's been in other shows.
Okay.
He's more of a television actor.
Okay. I mean, it's kind of a. I mean, okay. I guess just based on visually, it is a different look for Superman's pops, because generally, this dude looks a bit more burly than the typical Superman dads. That's like even Kevin Costner had a almost slightly fit the comic character archetype a bit more. So at least casting wise, it's an interesting choice. Again, that's the only reference. That's the only frame of reference I have to go on at this point. I can't really speak on the guy's acting because I only have the Walking Dead season to go off of.
Well, they're both fairly aged actors, so I think they're going for an older Mom, Pa Kent, kind of closer to the original archetype.
Yeah,
okay.
Both actors are close to like 63 years old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Sticks?
I'm all right with these. Taylor's been around. He's been around since the 90s doing movies. His only comic book movie to date is the one lone Keanu Reeves Constantine movie. He was in that.
Wait a minute. Was he the cop?
I believe he was.
Oh shoot! Okay. Now okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, who knows? I don't think they're going to be playing too prominent a role.
No.
If they stick to the Pa Kent trope of him dying every time he's seen on screen, kind of like an Uncle Ben.
Please no more Uncle Ben. No more Batman's parents getting shot in the alley.
Well,
yeah.
So sorry, go ahead.
Well, I mean, if they have this kind of, because that's kind of what sends him on his journey to be who he is. So it's one of those. It's just like when Uncle Ben died. That's what sends Peter on his.
It's the call to action moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I was gonna say that if they're gonna bring back Martha and Thomas Wayne, I like the way they did it in Batman v Superman, where they were just in the opening montage and that was it.
Yeah, I would expect them to have flashbacks because they're not going to do an origin story.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, or even just in modern day, wherever it takes place, they're still alive, and that's why he hasn't become the Superman yet.
Right. So. Just as a point of trivia, the only Pa Kent that didn't die was the one from Lois and Clark.
Oh yes. Yeah, you're right. Because even the Smallville dad died. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next one. Peacemaker season 2 started production maybe about a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Have you guys seen the first season? Are you excited?
Oh yeah. First season was awesome.
No, I've seen. See, you know what I've realized?
Damn it, Hyper.
You know what I've realized actually with your slides? I realized that I've been more of a movie guy than a series guy. I've seen him in the Suicide Squad and I loved his character. And I've been meaning to watch Peacemaker, but once again, I think the problem with me is I know that knowing myself, if I watch a series, I can't pace myself. I need to binge it on a weekend. So basically I need to set it's just finding that time to basically that's the reason why I haven't really delved too much into the new Fallout series either, because I know that I'm gonna end up binging the whole, because Amazon drops everything at once now.
Right.
So
yes.
But
I
I'm excited for just the fact that Cena's back as the Peacemaker.
yeah. First thing I'll say is I can't binge things because when I first got into Breakout, uh, the TV show there from Fox,
Mm.
I hadn't watched it before, so they had like the first 3 seasons when we first got Netflix. Like this was like early days of Netflix. I was up to like 5 in the morning watching the damn thing because I was like, oh, I gotta watch the other. I gotta watch the next one. I can't do that. I can't be up to 5 in the morning, so I gotta station myself out each week if they
That was
drop
me.
like
That was me.
I gotta have I'll watch one episode tonight. I'll watch 2 episodes tomorrow night or something like that. I gotta pace it out, or I'll burn out. Peacemaker first season was awesome. I expect the same thing from the second season.
Yes, Derek.
More Diebeard. I would love. I can't remember. I'd have to watch the ending. I can't remember if I don't think he died.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter what happened in season 1 because it's
Right.
a different universe.
Yeah, I'm. That's gonna be interesting how they.
I
Work
wonder
that-
how they'll make fun of it or explain it away, but I don't care if it's connected or not. Just give me more Peacemaker and all the bumblingness that he brings.
Mhm.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next article. If you guys watched the Joker 2 trailer, because this looks crazy.
This I actually have seen also because I don't have to binge it. It's only a 2-minute trailer. Listen, you've all. I'm assuming you both seen the first Joker movie.
Yes.
I've watched half of it. And
Okay.
I'll hold my reaction to the end here when it comes
Okay,
back to the top.
so I mean, I don't think I was gonna mention much spoiler, anyways. But the thing is, when I saw that the first Joker movie, my initial reaction, and I think a lot of people had the same sentiment, was I thought it was a great movie. I just never thought of it as a Joker movie.
Mm.
The running joke I always said was, if you call the movie Sad Clown Man, I would have probably liked the movie just the same. I kind of feel almost it was a bit of a catfish situation when they labeled it the Joker, just because it didn't have any. The only thing that that movie had any semblance of the Joker was the integration of the Waynes.
Mhm.
Other than that, it felt more like a character study than an actual comic book-esque kind of Joker depiction.
Could have been called Death of Civil Society.
Yeah, it's so and I know people are a bit up in arms that this is going to be a musical and all that. And watching the trailer, don't expect like a full-on Les Miserables. I don't think it's going to be in that vein.
I think more maybe Chicago.
Yeah, so something a bit more Broadway-esque, but like I don't
Guys
think it's
and
going to
dolls.
be. Sorry.
Guys and dolls.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be sprinkled in, but I don't think I don't think it's gonna be like a Disney movie where every 5 minutes someone's gonna break out into a song. I just think they'll have musical elements, but because just based on the trailer, it seems like there's gonna be a lot of what do you call it, illusionary situations where Joker and Harley are imagining a certain situation, but what's actually happening in reality is completely different. At least that's what you kind of get from the trailer. And I think Lady Gaga's a wild card because she was great in that, what is it, that Bradley Cooper movie? I can't remember.
Oh, Star is Born.
Yeah, and she hasn't really done that many acting roles, so it is. I mean,
She was good in American Horror Story too.
Okay, I haven't seen that, but yeah, and she's obviously has a musical chops, so I'm sure that also lended her to be casted in the role as, again, Harley Quinn. This is not the Harley Quinn that we know. If you know the origin of Harley Quinn, we know this is not exactly. They're not going.
Well, we don't know because, and I don't want to spoil it. So, just based on how the first Joker movie went,
Mm-hmm.
this could be in that same exact vein. And because I don't want to ruin it for Sticks.
Okay, I think I kind of know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
because we don't know the truth.
Yeah. Okay. Say no more. Yeah.
Okay.
I see what you mean. But yeah. the way I'm gonna still watch the movie, but I'm not gonna watch it in the sense that I'm expecting a Joker movie. I'm just gonna watch it just on the fact that I enjoyed the first movie, and I look at it as a follow up to what I enjoyed in the first movie. So
Mm-hmm.
anyone that was disappointed that the first movie wasn't really the Joker that they know from the comics and all that, I would say temper your expectations when you see this movie.
Yeah, just you're gonna go in to watch a good movie. That's all.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
So for me, I'll start with the trailer. I enjoyed the trailer. I think it's going to be a little better than the first. I'm interested to see what how it goes with like you said, like the song and the singing, and I don't think it's going to be much. I think there's probably going to be one or two.
No, there's
moments.
there's gonna be like 12 to 15 songs, I think.
That sounds like a lot to
Yes.
say.
Wait. Were you being serious?
No, I'm being absolutely serious.
Oh, I thought you were
12
actually joking when you said that.
No.
I was waiting
No,
for
no.
you to laugh, but like,
No. There's 12 to 15 songs, and they're gonna be like remakes of modern songs or songs that we're familiar with from the movies and pop culture.
Okay.
So that's why it's leaning more towards Chicago, where there's a lot of singing and remakes of songs, but there's still dialogue.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll see. I'll probably watch it. I'll probably the first. I'll tell you the first one. I got halfway through it, and I already knew that it wasn't like a DCU movie. I knew it was just like a standoff kind of Joker movie. I still couldn't get into it. I mean, I tried. I'm hoping this one is, like I said, better than the first. I can get into it a little bit more. Now,
yeah, the first movie is more like
why not?
Is like Taxi Cab. Is it Taxi? No, Taxi.
Taxi Driver, you mean?
Yeah, Taxi Driver. Thank you.
Yeah.
With Robert De Niro. It's very close to that concept.
Yeah.
I think there was another movie it was really close to. It was a 70s movies, but yeah, it's a good story. I just don't know, like Hyper says, if you call it Joker with just a mention of the weight.
Yeah.
So. Especially the first one. This one, we've got more elements of Joker-esque things like Harley and and not just the Wayne family, right? To connect, and for the fact that it takes place. The first one was it in Gotham? No, it was a different city.
I actually don't know if they consider that Gotham or not.
Yeah, I don't know if they actually referenced the actual name of the city. I'm not sure.
Or maybe it was a neighboring. Either way, I'll watch it. I'll give it a try, whether in theater or on streaming.
Nice. Well, all right. Let's move on to the next one. Wonder Man has just finished filming. This is going to happen on Disney Plus. I don't know when. I think it's end of 2025. But oops, sorry. But yeah, Yahya Abdul-Mateen is playing Wonder Man. What do you guys think? I mean, Disney Plus shows have been kind of, it's either really good or it's just been a huge letdown. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think what the show has going for it is the fact that I don't think I'm in the minority when I say that not a lot of people know who Wonder Man is in the comics. So it's almost like the expectations for the show aren't going to be the same as, let's say, when Loki came out or when WandaVision came out, because those characters are a bit more mainstreamish and maybe not as mainstream as Iron Man or Cap, but people recognize. Like if you told someone who's Wonder Man, I would almost venture to guess people might not even know if he's a DC or a Marvel character.
I would agree. Some people say, was that Wonder Woman's husband? Exactly.
And the thing is, it doesn't help that he's not really exactly featured in more the current, at least I don't think he is, Yeah,
He was more current, like in the '80s with West Coast Avengers.
yeah, and
Really?
aside from that solo series that he had in the '90s, did he even have another series on his own, comic
I
wise? I
think he
don't
might
think.
He
have. He might
he
have
might
one
have.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one
Okay.
other.
yeah.
Yeah, early
Of course,
2000s
but a
maybe.
limited series, of course.
Right, right. I don't think it was like I don't think
No,
he
nothing
has
big.
its name cachet to carry an ongoing. But yeah, so look, at least the casting choice, Yaya, he was. I liked him as the
Black
Black
Manta.
Manta.
Yeah,
So at least casting wise, it's a promising choice. So
yeah.
it has that going for it. But again, I don't have much of a frame of reference to say, oh, this is my Wonder Man. I'm just gonna
Right.
go at it, with almost like a clean slate and see how it does.
As most people should.
Yeah, yeah, no, true.
So I had thought, I, I had thought this series had gotten canceled when I heard that they finished filming. Like, I thought they canceled it at one point.
Oh, that's a lot of people hoping stuff because they're like, I
Maybe,
don't know who that character is. I don't care.
maybe.
So, yeah.
I'm interested to see which element of the character we get. The early character is
Villainous.
more straightforward, villainous,
Yeah.
drama. Kind of once he gets into his own series, it's more of a. I'm going to be sad to say this, but he's more of a Booster Gold character where he's wrapped up in his movies and what he's doing on film instead of being the superhero that he probably should be. So.
Oh, poor Vinny. Yeah, no,
I don't know.
I've mentioned it many times that they did not cancel Wonder Man. It was just a huge rumor because Feige has a plan. It's just, there's all kinds of elements that people are blaming Feige for that are were completely out of his hand at some point. So
yeah, well, you know the adage, right? Everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face.
Yeah.
I thought Secret Invasion was that punch in the face.
Well,
I'm the last couple, it's been kind of raining down what people thought of it. I thought that one was
Disney Plus
really
show.
the punch. Yeah, that was the punch that maybe said we got to do better.
I will say this: Secret Invasion was definitely shot and edited during Bob Chapek's as CEO.
Yeah.
So and Disney Plus was kind of taken out of the hands of Kevin, where it's not that he wasn't in charge of producing everything. It was there were so many orders for Disney Plus shows that he got thinned out.
Yeah.
So he had to trust the other creators.
His say wasn't as big as it was previous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
But now it's back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll wait to see what he actually does in the next 2 or 3 years.
Can only go up from here. Well, at least that's what I'd like to think.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's lost all of its luster, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but the dilution and the quality that has come out from Disney and Marvel, all the way around, has been noticeable to the point where now people are calling out superhero fatigue, or just these movies are getting terrible. They're becoming DCU movies, so I completely understand, but there's always that upswing, so we'll see what happens. Bob Iger's back in charge.
Well, I think the whole pre-Endgame era, I think what it had going for it was every movie felt like it was a cohesive, there was something there for the greater plan. Whereas when you watch these movies and these standalone TV shows, it doesn't feel like there's a thread, even though there might be some loose threads, with the whole Shang-Chi and the rings, and then connecting it with Miss Marvel. These threads feel a lot more looser than the pre-Endgame stuff, where it felt like okay, this is a shared connected universe, whereas right now it just feels like we're throwing darts at different shows and seeing what sticks. And then, I mean, that's
It,
why you're seeing shows getting canceled left and right lately. With because they're not doing as well.
I just think it's the lack of communication, the separation
Hmm.
of power, and the separation of this like television and movies, and it's a whole thing. But I think we're going to be okay going forward as long as there's not any huge changes to what Feige is in charge of. So I mean,
Right.
I still trust in Feige. We'll just have to wait and see though.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean,
And then, of course, people thought this was canceled too. Uh, Production for Vision Quest is going to happen later on in the year. So they'll start production later this year. What do you guys think of this?
I mean, going off of WandaVision, I'll say
Exactly.
this: the first two episodes, I had a WTF moment when I was watching them, and then I exponentially liked the series as the episodes progressed. So overall, I did enjoy the WandaVision series as a whole. Um, Although after watching what is it, Multiverse of Madness, I almost feel like that wasn't the payoff I was hoping for.
Right.
Besides the point,
You
um, oh my gosh, who's the actor that played Vision? I'm
Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany.
know,
Yeah,
Benny.
he's a he is perfectly casted as the villain. He has like that very stoic personality. So I'm glad that he's gonna be back at least for one more series. I don't know if there's plans for him going forward in future
Yes.
Marvel projects, but at least seeing him back in the role of Vision is gonna be nice. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and I'm glad it wasn't canceled.
Yeah, I'll echo Hyper here. The going on just going off of WandaVision, I thought he was great in the role, and I definitely was looking for. I thought it would come a little sooner than it has, but um, I'm looking forward to seeing Vision back again on the screen. So I'm excited for this.
Yeah. Ditto. I think Marvel needs an original Avenger or an Avenger to come back to bring us back to that old feel. Paul Bettany is a great actor, like Hyper said. I mean, from Drop Dead Fred to A Knight's Tale, he is one of a kind. Definitely perfect for the role. So I do hope, again, it all depends on the writing, all depends on the story, but I think there's plenty there. And, maybe we get Wanda back, maybe we don't. But he has he still has a path to follow. At least there's more story there for him. So we'll find out how that works out.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next one. So Tom Holland's recently been asked about Spider-Man 4, and he has told the news that they're still working on Spider-Man 4. They're developing it, and now he's part of the creative process. So it looks like we are going to he's going to come back. He's going to do a Spider-Man 4 at least, probably another trilogy. So what do you guys think of this news? I mean, is it really news to anyone?
To be honest, I'm kind of surprised that Kevin Feige or somebody didn't put him on a timeout for media interviews, just because of previous interviews where he tends to spoil things.
I think he's
Um,
a little older, more he knows a little better now.
hopefully, but yeah, I mean, look, Spider-Man is one of those characters that I almost well, we're gonna talk about this trailer after, so I'm not gonna jump ahead of the gun, but he's a character that I think has enough cachet that people are gonna see that movie, whether the trailer was a complete trash shit show. It's just one of those characters that I think it sells itself. So
Right.
the fact that it's getting a sequel, I think that's nothing to write home about. It was inevitable.
Yeah. I mean, he is probably the world's second or third most popular superhero.
It's funny because I think they actually did. I don't know how they did the study, but apparently, like they tried to make a study like the most recognizable symbol,
Uh-huh.
and apparently the Spider-Man emblem is right up there in terms of worldwide recognition. Batman, I think Batman, Superman, I think Spider-Man were in the top in terms of recognizable, and these are obviously surveyed with people that had no frame of knowledge in terms of comics and all that, just in terms of pop culture. So yeah.
I mean, Japan had their own Spider-Man
Yep.
What do you mean, like in the comics?
in the show.
They had a live action kind of
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Voltron-ish type one. Yeah.
Oh,
We're old.
wait, hold on.
It
Is it? Are you talking about the same that mech kind of spider character that came in Into the Spider-Verse that was controlled by that
Penny
girl?
Parker?
Yeah,
No,
is
no,
that
no.
one?
It's
No.
similar. No, it's not that similar, but it's
Think Power Rangers and
right. Yes.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That kind of thing. It's worth a watch if you. I think there might be some episodes on YouTube.
That's something else now I have to put in the queue right before that Turtles Power commercial you told me to watch before.
We're trying to fill it up for you again. You know,
Yes.
every time you're you gotta be cyclical here. So, for me, you know, it's nothing new. We know they're gonna be trying to keep. Sony wants the Spider-Man train to keep rolling because that's where they're getting their money from, right?
Yeah.
Everything else is, you know, Madam Web.
Oh God.
You know,
Morbius.
I'm excited I'm still excited for Craven and his radioactive lion. But
we'll see how that goes too.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I mean, this is going to be This will be movie one of his new 6-picture deal that he signed back in 22. So.
Oh, was it a 6-picture deal that he signed?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he finished that already.
From 22?
Oh, from 22, he has 6-picture deal?
He had a 6-picture deal. Now that includes cameos and, you know.
Right.
Gotcha.
He would,
yeah.
You know, so not like full pictures. But it could.
Okay.
You know, we might get more than we.
I think the
We'll probably
Avengers
get the same
movies are definitely part of those 6 pictures. The 2 Avenger movies.
3 Sony, 3 Marvel. Well, if you figure it that way. That's kind of what he did in the first timeline. 3 Sony pictures and then 3 what was it? Civil War,
Endgame,
and then
Infinity War.
Multiverse of Madness. No, War. Yeah.
Infinity War.
War.
Yeah.
He wasn't in Multiverse of Madness.
No.
So yeah, more Tom Holland. Yes, please bring it in. I'm up for it.
Same here. I'm all for it. I hope they do another trilogy and definitely age him up and make the stories a little bit more mature and go to the darker side, because there are dark stories for Spider-Man, especially with the symbiote and more street level.
Yeah, and they're at this point. They're going to be out of school. They've all graduated high school.
Yes,
now we're done with high school finally.
Yeah, so we're moving into college years, and hopefully him meeting the Fantastic Four, Daredevil, and maybe even developing Parker Industries.
Yep.
So, I mean, we'll see what they do.
Yeah.
All right. And then if you guys didn't know, CinemaCon happened a couple weeks ago. They had a Disney and Marvel and Star Wars kind of thing going on. And they showed the Thunderbolts logo, which it's going to be coming out May 6, 2025, and Captain America Brave New World in February 14th. And I think they showed a bit of the Captain America Brave New World, and they showed 9 minutes of Deadpool, which we'll talk about later. Did you guys hear the news about this? About what is it? Harrison Ford asking what do you call it? Captain America Falcon if he can make a new Avengers team. So, what do you guys think?
I mean, look, just because you're showing the slide right now, I hope they choose a better font for that Thunderbolts logo, because I don't know which Microsoft Word font style they just picked from the drop-down menu for that. Okay, so I'm just gonna address the elephant in the room. I like Harrison Ford as an actor. Um, I think he'll do his best to be Thunderbolt Ross. I don't know. It's just for me, the passing of William Hurt is just one of those situations where it's like it's gonna be like when you watch that character, you're gonna be thinking that you know that should have been. You know what? Even uh, okay, William Hurt passed away. But even Sam Elliott, to be honest, I actually I'm pining for Sam Elliott from the Eric Bana Hulk movie. Even though that whole movie in its entirety wasn't exactly the greatest Hulk movie, I did like Sam Elliott as Thunderbolt Ross. Um, it's an interesting. It's kind of. I'm just wondering though, in terms of again, it's going back to the whole direction of things. Like I saw you guys all probably saw Falcon and Winter Soldier, right? The series.
Yes.
Yep.
Um, I'll be honest. When I saw it, it was an overall. It was a good. I wouldn't say it was a great series. I would say it was a good series. But to be honest, after watching it, I actually wanted to see Bucky more
Mm.
in assume that leadership role, just because I kind of felt like storyline wise, I know in the comics, yes, we did get Sam Wilson as Captain America, but just the history with Bucky and Steve Rogers, I don't know. The part of me just feels like he should have been the guy holding the mantle, just because of that, what he's been through with the whole Winter Soldier arc and all that. Whereas Sam Wilson kind of came in at the midpoint of the Captain America series, so that's why I was never completely sold as Sam Wilson being the guy with the mantle. But I mean, I'll try to have an open mind on it.
I missed this somehow with the two. I didn't know about the clip for Captain America. I agree that Thunderbolt's font is not the greatest.
I think there's a reason for that, and I'll explain later.
Okay.
Okay. I'm questionable on. I don't like the lineup that they picked for the group, but I mean, you've got a slim pool of B and C characters to pull from the MCU universe
That are still alive, that villains.
that are still willing to act, I guess, in their roles. Captain America will probably be. Harrison Ford is 82 years old.
He's not 90 yet?
No, he's not 90 yet. William Hurt, he passed away in 22, but he was 79 at that time.
Yeah.
So it's not too far off. In my mind, after Hurt passed, I had them thinking that they might pick Tom Selleck. I thought Tom Selleck. He already had the mustache.
The mustache, yeah.
He already had the mustache.
That actually would have been a pretty good choice, actually, now that I think about it.
But and Harrison, what can I say about Harrison? He's had a great career. Most of these I'm probably going to go to the theater to watch. Thunderbolts, like I said, I'll be a little iffy on. We'll see.
Yeah, I think in the scene, he not only asked Sam Mackie to start build a new Avengers team. I think they even address kind of like how they addressed the change for War Machine. They address it in the scene, just make a reference to like, oh, you look different or something like that. So
okay.
They're gonna make fun of it. They'll be meta. Obviously, it's a big difference from William Hurt to Harrison Ford, but honestly, for a minor role character, I don't really care.
But
it depends on what the future is for that character, though.
But that's my question, though, Jeff.
Right.
With someone of with Harrison Ford's price tag that he commands, do you really think he's just gonna be not like a side character? I kind of feel like if they're paying someone that much to be in an MCU movie, I feel like his role is probably going to be pretty prominent.
Yeah, you would think, but you also have to imagine they know how old he is. And they hired him years ago.
Yeah.
So like, and they
Uh,
knew they had to replace him, William Hurt. They knew what was going to happen. So I think they're prepared to not expect him to be in that many movies.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so I mean, that's just my thought. And Harrison Ford's an actor who honestly doesn't need the money.
No. My point was, I don't think that. I'm with you. I don't think he signed a multi-picture. Like, I don't think he
Right.
like a Tom Holland deal. First of all, I think that's a bit risky on Disney's part. I'm calling a spade a spade. Look, Tom Holland's at a certain age, Harrison Ford is at a certain point in his life.
Later, Derek.
He's not at a point that he's going to be signing like 10 picture deals. My thing is, like, whatever movie he's cast in, I just feel like he will have a bigger presence than people might think. Because General Ross in the past was more of like a sidebar character. I
Right.
just feel that, and also Harrison Ford is also at the point where he can be very selective, like you mentioned. He doesn't need the money, so I just feel like he Disney would have had to dangle a carrot in front of him that made him feel like this is a role I can sink my teeth into.
Or they asked him for a favor because they greenlit that Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, okay. I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Yeah, that could have been. That definitely could have been part of that deal.
Yeah.
Listen, we want you. We want to make another Indiana Jones movie. We
Right.
can't do it without you. Here's, give us something, we'll give you something. That's what
Okay,
we're
yeah,
like.
that's very likely possible.
Yeah. I mean, look, am I super excited about both movies? Not particularly, but I am looking forward to hopefully all the changes that they've made will make these movies better movies than they probably would have been. And the Thunderbolts logo, I think it's they put an asterisk there at the end of that whole thing
Mhm.
because they might be named something else in the movie, but this is like their code name or something like that. Like they don't exist on the books or something like, you know what I mean? Like kind of like
like a project name or something like that.
Or no one wants to call them the Avengers, so they're like, oh, you're the Thunderbolts or something like that, right? So like, but they're supposed to be the Avengers. So something like that. I would assume that's what it would be. But yeah, I mean,
Maybe.
Looking forward to watching both of them. Just not super excited. I'm hoping for the best. That's all.
Yeah. Same.
All right, and then of course we got to get to this main topic here, the Deadpool and Wolverine second trailer. They've got these new posters out. It's freaking hilarious. And then, so have you guys seen the trailer? Obviously.
Oh yeah.
And what did you guys think?
Look, this is what I meant, but I didn't want to jump the gun because I knew we were going to be talking about this. There's certain movies or characters where you already had my money. Like I didn't need to see. I didn't need to see even that teaser Super Bowl trailer. I wouldn't, even if I didn't see it. I was gonna watch this day one, and I'm a guy that actually hasn't watched a lot of movies in theaters as of late. I think the last movie I saw was Multiverse of Madness, to be frank. This one, yeah. Look, the chemistry between Reynolds and Hugh Jackman was very apparent just on the social media, interaction. So it clearly bleeds through when you watch the trailers. I almost, to be honest, I kind of wish I didn't see the trailer. I actually would have wanted to see the movie with a fresh pair of eyes, just because, like I said,
because you expect crazy stuff to happen, crazy appearances, no matter what, regardless of what they were going to put out on trailers, right? For any Deadpool movie.
The trailer for the most part was par for the course. To be honest, it basically I'm actually glad that's all I saw in the trailer. That lets me know that okay, they're really saving some of the good stuff. At least I hope that they're really saving some of the good stuff in the movie, because it felt the trailer itself was very paint by numbers. If I'm being very subjective on it, the only real, I guess, revelation is I'm assuming that was Cassandra Nova, right? That we saw.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, because I know that in the Super Bowl trailer, you just saw the back of the person's head. Now you actually see the character, full on. So that's probably the only major revelation that we really got from the trailer. But I think most of the people that I talked to that were already anticipating seeing this movie in the summertime. I don't know if
Yeah.
this trailer like brought in new people. I think it basically just basically just reconfirmed that, oh yeah, this is going to be a good movie. But I don't think it
Well,
broke new grounds.
there's always that section of the population who don't follow comics and comic movies like
Mm,
we do. That when you put out a trailer, they go, "Oh yeah, I went to see that. I liked it. I'll see it again. Didn't know they
yeah,
had another one coming out." We've been waiting for this since 1870. We've been waiting for it so long. It's right there within our grasp, and we're all going. Because we're knee deep in that comic book stuff. So that's really what this trailer is trying to do. Pull in those people who don't know.
actually,
Um,
yeah. That's actually a really good point. I didn't think of it that way. Yeah,
yeah.
because you're right. Because we're all entrenched in the hobby. For us,
Mhm.
like I said, for me, it was a day one. Whereas a casual person that doesn't follow Ryan Reynolds or Hugh Jackman on social media, this is probably their first foray into seeing the interaction between Deadpool and Wolverine. So yeah, that's actually, that's actually a very solid
Yeah.
Or the
point.
reunion of Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, sir.
Oh,
They
are we talking
were
about
they
the?
they were in that terrible Wolverine movie.
Oh yes, yeah. Uh, yeah.
No.
Lest we forget that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Well,
when I saw the trailer, uh, I instantly loved this. I already knew this movie was going to be a big hit, right?
right.
You've already established that they're uh, kicking Liefeld in the nuts with his small feet joke there, and um, we didn't see a lot of cameos in this, which is good. There's like six
Oh, we
people there.
did, you guys. It was
There's
just
like
in one
six.
scene.
There's like six people there in front of the giant
There's
base.
more
The
than
giant
that.
base. Yeah. Well, I saw the three on each side there. There might be more. So if you want to show
Yeah.
us or what you got, yeah, I'm all in on this. So
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, we start off the trailer and Logan's in a bar. You guys
Yeah.
remember the first time we were introduced to
where else
Wolverine,
would he
Hugh
be?
Jackman? He was in a bar,
Right.
right here in the original X-Men movie.
Yeah.
And then we again in X-Men First Class, where they were recruiting mutants, and he says the only F word in their PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's the first time F word was ever
Yeah.
thrown out in an X-Men movie.
Yep.
True.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's the same Wolverine because my theory is we see multiple different Wolverines. I think these are all different multiversal Wolverines characters that Deadpool is trying to recruit. He's trying to get one of them to come with him,
Mhm.
and the one he
Oh.
picks is the one they say, "Oh, he's the one who ruined his universe." Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I think that's where it comes from, but that's just a theory, of course. And so we don't know if this is the Wolverine that he takes with him or not. But we'll see. I hope it's because there's the rumor that that the Patch character is played by Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, Daniel Radcliffe. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
another rumor that Henry Cavill is playing a Wolverine version,
Oh, gosh.
variant. So I mean, I don't know if any of it's true, but I would believe that we're gonna get multiple versions of Wolverine.
See, okay, I had a slimmer of hope when you mentioned Daniel Radcliffe. I'm like, okay, they're starting to heighten down Wolverine to his comic book height, and then you mentioned Henry Cavill. Oh, okay, clearly we're not
Right.
heightening him down. Now we're going back to the 6 foot Wolverine.
When,
Yeah,
when Cavill haunches down and he goes into that stance of the like Wolverine, he'll look like that big hairy Wolverine we see in the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, look, they got CGI. They can do a lot of things, sir.
Yeah.
Especially if it's just a one-off.
True.
Also, so I mean, whiskey dick claws, smile, wait for the flash. I kind of dig this part. This is the first like time we see him catch up with Wolverine, and this Wolverine definitely doesn't care if he dies or not. I mean, he puts his head right to the gun.
Yeah.
So again, don't know what version this is, and then of course we'll have some characters that will be returning. We got Blind Owl. We know that Paradox is in it, and we know Alioth is in it. And if you guys, that's for people who have seen the Disney Plus Loki show.
I didn't even catch that that being Alioth until you just showed that still right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're definitely in the void.
Okay.
There's some rumors going around that saying, oh, this is a different universe's void or a different universe's TVA. I got some things to say on that, but I think it's all the same. So, then go ahead.
That would be my one question. What TVA are we getting? Because it's like it seems so different than the Loki series.
Well, remember, if you've seen season 2 of Loki, I'm so sorry, I don't want to like spoil it.
I've seen it.
Okay, if you see, their directive has changed. They are no longer pruning because they're trying to get rid of Kang variants. They're just pruning Kangs.
Right.
Okay, and also, Mobius is no longer with the TVA. So the TVA has changed their employment. So who's in charge, who's running the TVA, et cetera, et cetera. Right. And on top of all of that, there is no longer a single timeline. There are multiple timelines being held by this tree, by Loki.
Right.
So he allowed the multiverse to exist. And so that's I think that's why I don't believe there's any real change. We're just gonna get something past Loki season 2.
So unless I'm gonna ask this, so unless Loki at the end of season 2 of Loki, unless we come to the conclusion that ending creates multiverse TVAs,
right?
Whereas in the series, it was kind of seemed like the TVA was the nexus center of the multiverse. It didn't have a there weren't any two different.
But I would also argue that the void and where the TVA is located at the end of time, that's a singular thing that would exist for all the multiverse. So any TVA outside of time would exist out of time. So they wouldn't be necessarily connected, or they'd be connected to all the universes. So I would think they're singular, but I guess you can argue that every multiverse, every universe has its own end of time or outside of time. And so there could be multiple TVAs. I mean, I just don't know how confusing they're going to make it.
Right.
Let's see. And then also, there's definitely more shots. I mean, come on. The Wolverine claws coming out. All the fight scenes, all the blood and gore. I know it's not rated yet, but we all know it's R-rated. He said like "fuck" 4 times.
Yeah. I mean, look, like the last Ronin. I mean, you'd want no other way.
Yes, and of course the fight scene with Deadpool. I mean, this is just a little smidget of the fight scenes because I've seen other scenes from this fight that just weren't in the trailers.
Okay.
I mean, it's all the promo images that they had sent out because someone, a lot of paparazzi got a hold of the pictures, saw the Wolverine outfit, so they had to release those photos.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, there's definitely more to this. I can't wait. I hope it's like a 5-10 minute scene. That's probably asking a lot, but yeah, this is gonna be great. And then we finally get the whole look of Cassandra Nova. Her coming out of the giant man head, them battling inside. And also, so here are some of the Easter eggs. Obviously, 20th Century Fox logo, and sir, since you're in Canada, does this look like the CN Tower?
I did not catch that. Wait, but hold on.
Do you know why it's there?
Wait, is it because Ryan Reynolds Canadian?
Yes, Ryan Reynolds Canadian. Wolverine is a Canadian superhero, so it's like a ode to their,
I mean, if we're being very specific, though, Ryan Reynolds is from Vancouver. He's from the West Coast, and the entire tower is from the East Coast. But if it's a nod to them being fellow Canucks, that's actually pretty cool.
Yes, I mean that's what I think it is.
Okay, yeah, I dig it.
Okay, let's see if we can see any more Easter eggs here. Is this boat from First X-Men, First Class?
Oh,
is it Shaw's yacht? Is it any of the warships that were in the Cuba Missile Crisis? Do you think it's possible?
I'm thinking of if there's any other movies that had prolific boats.
I can't think of one.
Yeah, in terms of
maybe the ferry in the X-Men movie. That's the only other thing I can think of.
The ferry in the you're talking about the first one?
Yes. The Staten Island ferry there?
Yes.
Okay, yes, yeah. But you know what? Yeah, that's possible.
Okay, and there's a reason why I think it might be from First Class, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Also, all these stones. This is right after Paradox says that this Wolverine let his universe down. These look like the exact same headstones as in Days of Future Past in the comic books.
Oh yeah, okay, but you don't actually see any of the engravings on those stones, right?
No, at least not that we can tell from these pictures or these from the trailer. But my theory is this is an Old Man Logan universe, and these are either the X-Men he's killed or let down.
But hold on, in that universe, that Old Man Logan is already dead, isn't he?
No. No. Old Man Logan, as in the comics, not in Logan itself.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about it from the cinematic side, like
No. From the comic books, because the storyline is I think he's tricked by Mysterio to kill the whole X-Men.
Yeah, you're talking about the Mark Millar run.
Yes.
Yeah. It was Mysterio, and I think Red Skull had something to do with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Red Skull was in charge of all the villains, and he made different villains fight different heroes because they've never fought before, and he used strategy.
Right. Some mind manipulation. Yeah. I do remember that subplot that kind of made him become Old Man Logan at that point. Yeah,
I just find it very the design wise of these gravestones. I mean, geez, it's pretty crazy and pretty epic.
It definitely has a very uncanny resemblance.
Yeah,
no pun intended.
Sure.
Also, of course, we see Deadpool, Dogpool.
Yeah, my God.
Wolverine looks so disgusted.
But hold on, is it me or does that dog just look normal? Like he didn't look.
It's a real dog.
It is a real dog. Okay, I was thinking it's going to be some deformed dog or something, but it looked pretty normal in the trailer. So
just looks very rascally. That's all.
Yeah. Okay.
Look up the pictures of it. It it almost looks like it got hit by a truck and got
multiple
back up
times.
Licked its face. Yeah. Then they backed over it a couple times. It's I love dogs. For an ugly dog like that, I'm like, it's so perfect and
it's
so great. It's so great.
They nailed it. Also, we mentioned it earlier. Well, at least Sticksboy did. Liefeld's Just Feet, definitely an Easter egg.
I want to know what it says underneath there too.
I do want to know, and I hope we can see it on the movie screen.
Yeah.
But I think there was another Easter egg here that said Copperheads or something like that.
Yeah, there's like a bar to the
to the right.
Right. Yeah. It's
And-
called
and-
Copperheads.
Copperheads, if you guys know, in the comic books, is more related to Daredevil. Or at least that he was in a lot of Daredevil issues,
They,
or at least that's where he started, right?
yeah, and then it went. There's some other character they interact with. I
Right.
assume you're talking about the Serpent Society.
Yes, yeah. But my point would have been, because there's already not rumors, because I think it was already confirmed that Elektra is in this.
It was actually confirmed.
Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer
is
Garner
supposed to be
is being
playing
very
Elektra.
coy about.
Yeah.
So that's no longer
Well,
speculation.
I don't think it's speculation because I'm pretty sure it was confirmed that her and another character were going to be in the movie.
Okay.
It kind of was announced at the same time. This was months and months and months ago. At least last year.
Was it? Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it this movie or was it the Captain America movie, where Seth freaking Rollins was supposed to be playing Constrictor?
It was
Captain America was supposed to have Serpent
Captain
Society.
America. Okay.
And technically, this new Captain America, Brave New World, is rumored to have Serpent Society. They were supposed to play a bigger role. They rewrote everything, and they're probably going to be in a lesser role now.
Yeah.
Which is perfectly fine.
I enjoyed Serpent Society in the comics, so the whole it's more of a tie to at the time the Conan
We'll see.
backstory. So
I haven't heard that rumor yet, Apollo.
Doctor Doom will show up. Well, they've talked about Doctor Doom in the. I mean, they had that whole Secret Wars comic.
As far as I know, Doctor Doom hasn't been casted, but I could be absolutely wrong. They could have kept it quite secretive. But
I'll be honest. Something of that magnitude, I kind of feel like there's too many loose lips. I just don't. I just don't see that news being kept hush hush for this long.
I agree. That character would have to be a pretty prominent actor, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And so that I just think, it would most likely get leaked out somehow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
TiVo has a bunch of sources. I have a bunch of sources. There are a lot of people in SoCal that have a lot of sources.
right.
So, if none of us have heard it,
I'm gonna stretch the Doctor Doom thing, and since we're talking about there being like multiple Deadpool variants in this movie, right? With Dogpool and
yeah, Lady Deadpool is rumored to be in it.
have you guys ever heard of Death Mask?
Why does that sound familiar?
Death Mask is the Wade Wilson Doctor Doom of in the comics.
And Mephisto. Yeah. I've never heard of that, but that's interesting. I didn't know there was a variant, Doctor Doom variant.
Yeah. That Wade Wilson Deadpool becomes Doctor Doom.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if they'll play with that.
What is it? I'm just gonna Google this on the site. What is it called? Dead Mask?
Death Mask.
Death Mask.
Yeah.
Death.
Yeah.
You just want to see the image of this.
Yeah. So let's move on to another one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've never seen this iteration before. Yeah.
So I'm so sorry. There's 6 characters here. There should be 7 because I forgot to put Sabretooth.
Wait, all of these were actually shown?
Yes, sir.
I gotta rewatch the trailer clearly.
So the first thing is the dead giant man with the skull.
Yeah.
That's why I think this is a old man Logan kind of storyline. In the Old Man Logan storyline, there's a dead giant man in the middle of the country.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been there for like 50 years, so it's rotted out. And it's called, and the site is called Pym Falls. So this is kind of like in that familiarity. And again, in this world, Red Skull is in charge of all, basically the whole United States, divided up amidst different villains. And so maybe it's Cassandra Nova who's from this Old Man Logan's world and caused the death of all these heroes. She's that powerful. So I mean, we'll see.
Mm.
And then all these appearances. So I believe that Sabretooth right here, that in the big overcoat.
Not the Liv Schreiber, the X-Men one, Sabretooth, right?
Yeah, the original one, right?
Yeah.
And then the Tyler Mane, I think, is his name.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's Callisto right here.
Mhm.
There's Toad next to her. I don't know who the character is between Toad, but there is Lady Deathstrike. You got Azazel.
Pretty much all these characters died in their respective movies.
Exactly, but there's variants of them, so they don't know which universe they might have pulled them from.
Did Callisto die? I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure she died because she was in The Last Stand, and it was against the Phoenix.
Yeah, almost everybody died.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. Clearly, she wasn't that memorable for me to remember.
And then this character right here. Okay, so on the hood here or on the car, that's Pyro.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
I don't know who some of these characters are, but I'm pretty sure there'll be some callback to them. But this character right here, somebody on the YouTube's found him, and he has the exact same shirt as Kevin Nash had in that Punisher movie.
Interesting.
So that's kind of crazy. Yeah. So I mean, if they showed us this, imagine what's actually in the movie. Because I mean, Halle Berry is rumored to be in it. Sue Storm, Chris Evans. Like, there's all these rumors of all these appearances from different characters, especially from the Fox universe and any other possible Marvel movies that aren't connected to the MCU.
The thing is, Jeff, when you look at your pictures, it's like one of these is not like the other.
Which one?
The Kevin Nash one. Everyone else.
I agree. I totally agree. But when I saw the actual, if you get a close up of that character, exact same red and white striped shirt. No.
I mean, in terms of the other characters on your slide, they at least had some link to the X-Men universe. Kevin Nash was the Thomas Jane Punisher was a completely a standalone-ish movie. Everything else.
But if the rumors are true that Elektra is in it, that has nothing to do with the X-Men movies either. If Sue Richards, Invisible Woman, and Chris Evans are going to be in it, that would also not be a connection to the X-Men movies.
So,
and those rumors are pretty strong.
Would we be thinking this is the Old Man Logan universe then?
Or a version of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The evidence definitely seems to lend itself to that. Yeah.
At least where they got pruned from, right? Or at least this Wolverine where he gets pulled from Deadpool, and then this is obviously the Void.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, that's my theory.
Now I gotta rewatch this frame again.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how I missed it.
I'm gonna ask if you think they would put a Hulk variant in this movie.
I'm hoping for that, because if anyone would do a cameo, Mark Ruffalo would.
Wait, you're talking about the same Hulk from the Old Man Logan, like the
Maestro.
I don't know if they would do Maestro.
I don't know if they would do Maestro, like the Old Man Logan one, similar to Maestro.
Maybe. I really am hoping they'll do this. At least let them meet. Wolverine and Hulk meet either in this movie or the Secret Wars movie.
Right.
I don't care which one, but it's got to happen at some point, just for like the sake that Hugh Jackman finally gets to fight Wolverine. I mean, the Hulk.
Depending on if we find out why this world goes dystopian,
right.
Hulk would be the only person that I think would take down Giant Man.
Yeah, that could happen, or again, if Cassandra Nova is the one who kills everybody.
Right.
Or forces Wolverine to kill everybody. Because I mean, he is Weapon X, so her using him like a weapon would be not untenable. So I mean, what do you guys think of all what we've seen so far? All the Easter eggs and all the
plenty more to come. Plenty more to come, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's been criticism lately of previous trailers where it almost feels like they're showing their hand a bit too much. I hope that's not the case, and I don't think it is the case. I think they're saving a lot of tricks up their sleeve. And the fact that you just mentioned that Elektra is confirmed that she's not even shown at
In
all
any
in
of
the
it,
trailer
right?
lends me to believe that there's a lot more stuff that we should be in for, in terms of as a surprise. So yeah.
Right. I mean, there's the rumors of Gambit showing up.
Mm.
Either Gambit too, as well. It doesn't matter from the Wolverine movie or
Well, the only Gambit,
or Channing Tatum.
Yeah,
yeah, I
the
was
one
gonna
I heard.
say,
Maybe.
like,
Yeah.
because Channing Tatum was more of a fantasy casting, but the actual
Right.
only Gambit was just from the Origins movie, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Tatum came very close to getting his own movie, and they just never pulled the trigger.
Mm.
Yeah, and then Fox got sold.
Yeah, and then Fox got sold, and that went out the window. So
Yeah, there's all kinds of rumors. All these X-Men's are supposed to show up. There's a rumor Taylor Swift. Obviously, everybody knows about that rumor.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who knows? And honestly, I don't care. I'm waiting to watch the movie. I hope they don't show any more cameos or Easter eggs, to be quite honest.
Yeah. Because I kind of feel just this trailer alone and the teaser is enough of a solid ground for people to be enticed to see. I don't know what more they need to do.
Right. I don't even care what they tell us what the story is, to be honest, in any of the trailers. Just give it to me in the theater. And then I think their strategy was good. The first teaser was all about Deadpool, bringing you back into the whole Deadpool world. And then the second one was all about the Wolverine.
Yeah.
So I think we're done. I don't think we need any more.
No, like I said, they already had my money.
Yeah.
So
we don't need them, but they're gonna come anyway.
Yeah. Wow. I'm sure one more will come because this is 3 months. We're 3 months out.
Right. Is it exactly end of July?
It's the end of July, July 26th, I believe.
Yeah. Okay.
It is the Friday of Comic-Con.
Oh,
okay.
So we'll probably get one more like a full teaser like this, then we'll get the TV spots, and that'll be it. Yeah, tickets on tickets or whatever, and this Friday and blah blah blah.
Yeah, I hope we don't get any more.
I'm wondering spoilers. I'm just wondering in terms of ticket sales. Like, I'm actually curious if this is going to have the same fervor as, because I can't remember. Okay, since the Endgame, would you guys say that the last movie that basically had
the last $1 billion movie was Sony's movie, which was SpiderMan: No Way Home?
I was gonna say that's probably the last.
The closest to that was Doctor Strange. I think he made over 800 million, 900 million.
Yeah.
But okay, so I guess I'm not really talking about gross. I'm talking about more in terms of opening day, where the kind of feeling where you basically have to.
Yes.
Like the whole wait in line or get your ticket now, otherwise you're shit out of luck. That kind of situation. Like I don't really. Spider-Man might have been the only one in recent memory where I feel like that was the situation.
I think for this movie, depending on your area. So I'm in SoCal. There are a lot of people here, but there are also a lot of freaking theaters. And they do a lot of showings of these hyped up movies, especially during summer. So I don't necessarily think every single theater here will sell out, but they're going to be pretty darn packed. So if they're pretty darn packed here, I would believe everywhere else in the country will probably sell out a lot more showings.
Right. Your bigger theaters are going to have multiple showings. I mean,
multiple houses of housing the movie. So yeah,
it's just like for me as a fan and someone that wants like this franchise to thrive, I'm kind of gauging it on those kind of merits, just hoping that we get that same magic that we got during the Infinity era times when people were really looking forward to going to the theaters. It's been sorely lacking the last few years.
So a lot of the movies that have come out recently, like Captain Marvel, and that haven't had as much of a
buzz.
Buzz where people are I'm going to see that.
Exactly. That's my yeah.
You know, the closest movie that comes to that is Godzilla Kong.
Which one?
Godzilla vs Kong.
Oh yeah,
Kong.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, where I think they had said it wasn't going to make X amount, but it ended up making X amount.
Right.
Right, it went over expectations. I think that's what this movie is going to do. It's going to definitely go over expectations.
I hope
because
so. Yeah.
because of the people behind it with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, the cameos, that thing, how batshit crazy it's probably going to be, and all those factors are going to bring people into that theater to pack it up and watch it.
Yeah, and because the reason I'm hoping for that is because it also reinforces the studio heads about this is what we want. I mean,
Right.
there's a reason why, like you mentioned, like the Marvels and all that didn't get the same buzz because there was a lot of pushback against those kind of movies. So I'm hoping
Right.
that people's wallets,
Yeah.
that's their biggest talking point, like how
Is-
people spend their money.
You vote
Yeah.
with your money.
Yeah.
As fans, when you're going on, and whether you think they listen or not, they see your tweets and your Instagram posts and your Facebook posts. If you're saying this is what you want, but you don't go to the theaters and pay for it, they're not going to do it again.
Well, there's always a joke
not
that
gonna
they say that the internet is just a very loud minority.
It's absolutely true. I believe it. Or at least
But-
the loudest or most negative.
Yeah, like a lot of people gauge what people tweet and how people see memes, and they think that's the general populace.
Mhm.
Not necessarily the case. I've noticed that in comics, and I follow pro wrestling. Pro wrestling's the same way. You hear a lot of, like, just as a side note, people, like, let's say they shit on certain wrestlers, but when you actually go to the actual live shows and all that, you would think that it's a completely like night and day situation. That's like you said, people vote with their dollars in terms of.
I will tell you that when we went to Raw last year in June,
Mhm.
and at that point I was thinking that the whole Dom and people booing Dom, I thought
Yeah.
that was all piped in. No, those fans were booing the shit
Legitimate.
out of him.
Yeah.
It was a legit boo when he came out
Yeah.
and was trying to talk. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so I mean, if you know the history of the Deadpool movies, none of them have made $1 billion. Okay, neither of the two Deadpool movies have made $1 billion. Really close, but not $1 billion. The reason why I would say is one, it was an R-rated movie. Both of them were.
Right.
It's very difficult for R-rated movie to make $1 billion or more. The Joker did it. I don't know if Oppenheimer is an R-rated movie.
Good question. I don't know if you don't see that many R-rated Nolan movies, to be honest. I think
No.
Nolan generally flirts on the PG-13, 14 side.
Yeah, so I mean, it's very, very rare. But however, with the decline in quality from Marvel, knowing that this might save their whole universe,
right?
It's a real possible chance. And all the hype they're getting, again, what Hyper said, the cast, the cameos that we're gonna get, the callback to 30 years of freaking X-Men movies and Fox Universe movies, and possibly even just other Marvel movies, period. That will get the hype train going as well.
While still having a whole separate movie going on in the back end.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is, look, they might overdo all the cameos. I really don't care, because the fact is they put Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman in the same movie as Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm good to go. That's what we all been clamoring for since Deadpool 1 came out. So yeah, I mean, there's no mistake to me that every person who is a superhero comic book movie watcher is going to watch this at least once, if not multiple times. And on top of that, this movie franchise has known to get people to laugh, the normal people, the normies, what we would call them, right? The normal movie watchers. This is a fun movie, and everyone knows these actors.
And you know what? Marvel, Disney, whoever, they should thank their lucky stars that Ryan Reynolds is as passionate about this project as he's shown in social media. Ryan Reynolds is probably going to do what Rock wished he would have done in Black Adam, where his social media presence could have brought people in. I know that's what the Rock's, but I think Ryan Reynolds, I think not he alone, but like he was a definite significant driving force in gaining, in basically, like whenever there was no talks of him kind of, stoking the fire, he would always do that. So
Ryan Reynolds is a social media expert.
Yeah.
Savant.
Yeah.
His humor is up there. Hugh Jackman's interaction with him, that's way up there. I mean, just so many levels to this, that this is really the Deadpool movie that will most likely make $1 billion, maybe even $1.5 billion.
Yeah. I was because you asked, I was gonna bring up the top 4 top grossing R-rated movies. Joker was there with $1 million, just shy of 80,000 or 80 million, 1 million, 80 million, 1 billion. I'm sorry, 1 billion 80 million.
Yeah.
The next one is Oppenheimer with 969.
Also, it is an R-rated movie. Okay.
Yeah. And then the next two, number 3 and 4, is Deadpool 2 with 785, 896, and Deadpool, the first one, was 782,612,000.
And you know what? That's still a testament, because they didn't have the Disney machine behind it, and as far as I know, the budget for Deadpool wasn't exactly that great to begin with. So, in terms of the fact that they still managed to pull out those numbers, being ranked 2, 3, and 4, I feel that should be a good benchmark to let you know, like you said, that I'm pretty confident that they will break $1 billion.
Yeah, Deadpool 1, I think, was made for less than $50 million.
That's pretty low if you look at like general, like, especially in the whole superhero CGI realm of movie making. You would think that most of the times you hear about budgets in the 100 million plus.
Yeah, I don't even think Deadpool 2 got to 100 million either.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't think so. But I know they upped it. They upped the budget, but I still don't think it went. I don't think it got to 100 million.
The budget for the first Deadpool is 58 million.
Yeah.
And the budget for Deadpool 2, where's Deadpool 2? Here it is. The budget for Deadpool 2 was 110 million.
Oh,
okay, so just a little over 100
just a
million.
little, which still is cheap compared to the rest of the other MCU movies.
So it's a great return on. It's a great ROI for those 2 Deadpool movies, clearly.
Yeah,
I mean, they made $1.5 billion for 2 movies. So, and if this makes $1 billion, I mean, or $1.5 billion itself, I mean, that's a $2.5 to $3 billion franchise. I mean, complete success.
Yeah. There are so many films that get put out that would kill for half of that income.
Of course.
Exactly. A lot of DCEU movies.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That universe is dead anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm super excited. I think this will make $1 billion, and this will get people excited for Marvel movies, at least going forward, more superhero movies, hopefully more R-rated superhero movies as well.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree too. I think depending on how they set up their ending and whether or not there's any kind of teaser at the end to push forward into the next one.
Well, I do have like a little theory about that. So I think we'll get more Deadpool movies, especially if this makes over $1 billion. Right?
Yeah.
If you're making money, you're winning, and if you're winning, you continue the winning.
Yeah.
But my theory is this is like if you know what Secret Wars in the comics is, Deadpool's Secret War. This is what this is as well, with the combination of the Old Man Logan movies and all the multiverse stuff. And I mean, I didn't even show the little Doctor Strange portal.
Oh, yeah.
But I did see that. Well, I mean, I saw that in the trailer.
It might not. who knows if that's real or if that was just put in as a fake out, or if there's some importance to it, like Wong is summoning them, or it could be because Doctor Strange is with Charlize Theron's character.
Clea.
Yeah, Clea. And they're traveling the multiverse, right? Supposedly after that Doctor Strange movie. And maybe he's putting together the secret Avengers. Who knows? But I mean, there's so much that can happen. There's so many tie-ins, and I really think that we're just going to see more Deadpool later on, more Hugh Jackman Wolverine in those Avengers movies, because that's what they've wanted the whole time.
Yeah. The only thing I guess I don't want to see is I don't want to see Deadpool popping into just for a cameo in these other movies. I like him in his own movie.
Right. I think it depends on what the cameo is in the context of the cameo. If he's like literally searching through the multiverse for his secret wars, like trying to put together a team, I don't mind him popping in once in a while, like just throw a one-liner out there.
So he's almost gonna basically take on the mantle of Stan Lee at that point, where basically he's gonna have his little obligatory cameo then.
There was talk about him being that too, where after Stan passed, they said that he might just do that, and that might be the fruition we get, him being that new Stan Lee.
I wouldn't be mad at that, to be honest.
I wouldn't be mad either. Like I said, if Ryan Reynolds is part of it, then I think no matter what, it's just going to be funny and worth it being in there. So, but with that said, I think we are done here. If you guys have anything left to say about this trailer and this movie?
No, I'm already going to see it. They've got my money already. So
yeah, like I said, this just basically, like I said, it was a good trailer, but to Sticks Boy's point, it was a trailer that I think was more for those people that may have been on the fence that know nothing about the actual comics or what this is all about. But for us fans, I don't think this trailer really wasn't needed for persuasion, basically.
So you're saying they had you at hello?
Oh, for sure. I mean, they had me at not even at the hello, just from the
just the wink,
just from looking across the room.
Face it, Tiger. We just hit the jackpot.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Can't freaking wait.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So we have some upcoming shows here on Nearing Nirvana. So the Nearing Nirvana Variety Show is usually on Fridays, but before Friday, tomorrow on Thursday will be Long Story Short. And then on Saturday, it's our Saturday morning toy box where we talk about the new releases. And then on Monday, we're back with the Team Nerd Herd Cover Lovers, one of our favorite shows. And then the CBW Market Report on Tuesdays, where the ladies of Nearing Nirvana talk about something going on in the market. All right. And then, of course, we'll be back here next Wednesday for Week in Geek. If you guys want to get 30 days of unlimited cover price for only 99 cents, you got to type in the code Nirvana14. And then if you want 10% off your purchase at Bird City Comics, just type in the code TNH10 at checkout. And then visit our buddy at Sean at displaygeek.com, and you can save 10% on your first purchase by typing the code Team Nerd Herd. All right, that is it.
Awesome.
Any last words, guys?
No, I think coming up we got some good slates of movies, whether you're a nerd or not, and even some of the non-nerd movies coming out look pretty good. So it's gonna be a great rest of the year, and then going into 2025, we're stacked.
Yeah, I feel like we're turning a new leaf. I mean, just currently, like right now, I mean, we didn't really talk about this much because it didn't come up, but X-Men 97 is hitting on all cylinders. So I just feel like for people that may have been, including myself, that have been a bit down lately on the previous offerings from Marvel, like I'm hoping that this show and the movie Deadpool coming out, that we're gonna turn a new page and hopefully, look, I'm trying to be optimistic here. So
no, that's good. I appreciate that, Hyper. I think definitely hopefully that this does turn the page. It does grab some momentum going to 2025, because 2025 is going to be packed with superhero movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be packed with all kind of sci-fi and just nerdy
Yeah.
movies for all of us, because after the strikes in Hollywood, this is where it's all going to ramp up, and it's going to get us all hyped up again. So I just hope it's not a letdown. I hope it's not. I don't think I can say it'll be too much, because as long as the quality is there, nothing's too much. I can have a lot of a good thing.
I've never heard of anyone complain about having too many good movies, because look, case in point, I'm having an issue where I'm having backlogs, not because I don't want to watch them, just because there's so many. There's so many good content. Wow. It's almost like it's that whole curse on, the whole joke about Netflix is there's so many good stuff, but then you spend more time channel surfing than actually picking something to watch.
Right.
Yeah. Or you watch something that you've already watched and you go,
you know what? I do that. I do that when I'm doing something where, okay, I watched this movie before, so they don't need my full undivided attention. So I could do something in the background. So those are usually the movies I end up watching.
Yeah.
Stuff that I already know the plot.
Or know the outcome.
Yeah.
Hey, you know how many times I walk Back to the Future?
Sorry?
Oh, yeah. You just throw that on. I could throw that on at any time.
Wait, which movie? I didn't catch that, Jeff.
Oh, yeah. You know how many times I've watched Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Sitting in the background. Like, if it's on TBS, it's just going to play for me. I don't care.
Yeah, for me, it's like The Matrix.
Yeah.
Like that I'm surprised my Blu-ray didn't get worn out at this point.
Well, there's digital now, so if it does, you're still covered.
Yeah, I don't know if Netflix has it, but I should check it out just to kind of save my physical media some playtime.
Where? Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, we're all nerds, so there's all kinds of movies.
Save your physical media for when the power goes out.
Yes.
You know what? That's come in clutch. When you have stuff either stored on your hard drive or on a disk. Yeah, there's been many times where I've had power outages. I'm like, okay, well, at least I guess I'll watch something without.
Or if you go on vacation to a cabin or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Cabin in the woods.
Well, I like fishing and skiing, so
okay,
gotta go to a cabin every once in a while.
That's right.
All right, well, that's it for our show, Week in Geek. Thank you, Hyper, for coming here, being on the show. Thank you, Six Boy. Where can we find both of you, please, Hyper?
All right, so my main interaction right now is on Instagram, I believe it's hyper.combo.comics. I don't even know my own. I believe that's how.
You're right.
I can't remember if it's like the full name. I'm pretty sure it's dots in between. But yeah, you'll find me on Instagram. I do have a YouTube channel. I took a bit of a hiatus a couple of months ago. I'm looking to go back to posting stuff on my channel again. I was doing game reviews and haul pickups, so that is something I'm gonna weave back into on my YouTube channel under the same handle, Hyper Combo Comics. So, but yeah, right now mainly it's IG, just posting stuff that I find in the wild. Which, if you know me, I'm a hunter at heart, so that will never change. So it's always fun posting stuff and seeing what other people post.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How about you, sister?
As for me, I mean, you can find me on any social at Sticksboy73. Friday nights over on the WandaVision channel. I do the Qualified, which is the kind of a comic book pop culture type stuff where I try to troll the chat with my trivia. Saturday nights, we got Saturday Night Special, also on the WandaVision channel. It's just a kind of a fun offbeat show that we do, just to have fun. Still comics and pop culture, but more kind of tongue-in-cheek type stuff.
Definitely great people over at WandaVision. Definitely great panels. You guys are super nerds because I don't know half the shit you guys know. So please go follow both of them. Please go watch their YouTubes. Hopefully Hyper will be back doing some more videos. And I would suggest getting with Charlie to get back into his gaming
Well, I
So
mean, I haven't seen him post. I mean, even
he
though I've been
hasn't.
on hiatus, I actually have been following some like you guys. I do. Even though I can't catch you guys live, I do catch the replays. I haven't seen any. What is it called? His gaming corner.
Gaming addicts.
Gaming
Yeah,
addict. Sorry, yeah, I haven't seen those
the
lives
game
in a while.
addicts. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, he's his life's been he's got some changes in his life, so
Okay.
he's trying to straighten that all out, and I know he definitely wants to go get back into it. So I would reach out to him, see if you guys can work something out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I just picked up. I just picked up the. I finally picked up Tears of the Kingdom on
Okay,
the Switch and Mario RPG. I know he probably finished and played those, knowing him. So yeah, no, I'll definitely link up with him at some point, and yeah, maybe we'll reunite that pairing.
perfect, perfect. All right, people, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to tune in Wrestle Nearing Nirvana throughout the week. Oh, go Knicks!
Go
Go
Knicks.
Knicks!
I'm a
Man,
hockey fan, so I'm gonna say go Leafs.
that was one hell of a win.
I'm a Leafs guy too.
Oh, really?
I live close to Toronto, so they're kind of like my
Oh,
second team. Buffalo
Well,
Sabres, and then Toronto's.
see, just like Marvel MCU fans, we both also know heartache in terms of sports franchises as well. So,
you
so
kidding me? My heartache is right now freaking Lakers.
oh,
I have plenty of confidence in my Lakers team. This is one team I can't have confidence against.
what's the series?
It's 2-0 right now. Denver's leading.
Okay.
I will bolster you up a little bit to tell you that the Lakers won't get swept.
I don't think they'll get swept, but I still don't want them to lose. They're my team. I'm a true fanatic of the Lakers. I've watched them since the Magic, Kareem. I've watched Magic, Kareem, and Worthy in a game at the Forum. So
Listen, it's very hard for me to have sympathy for you just because
I know
you've experienced at least championship
multiple back-to-backs
in your lifetime.
Yeah.
You have to go back to a time when we had black and white photos to the last time the Leafs won a cup. So
Yep.
Okay, you can call me a
23.
spoiled SoCal person. I get it.
Yeah. Was it 1923?
Look,
Yeah.
I'm not complaining because I mean, when you're a Knicks fan and you're a Leafs fan, that's a lot of damn heartache.
yeah, I'm just a glutton for punishment at this point.
Yeah.
All right, people, we're talking about sports now, so
Yeah.
we've lost all of you. All right. Well, with that said, if you guys want to do it right, you collect what you like, you watch what you like, and nerd out. See ya. Peace.
Oh.